Okay, so this is a slightly different picture here, so this is not going to be the same as the other one. So what I want you to do is I want you to try this just one on your own, see how you do, and I'll do another example after this as well. But I want you to try to figure out the measurement that this is reading. Okay, so again, step number one, again, is you're going to look to see where is the zero line. Okay, and if it's between two numbers, then you know the measurements between those two numbers. Okay, and then step number two is you're going to see which the other lines, what's the first one to match up with one of the lines on the fixed scale. So start at 0 and then find the one that matches up first. So go ahead and stop the video and try that now and see if you can come up with an answer. Okay, so looking here, we can see that the 0 line here is just above 3 and not quite to this line here, which is 3.1. So I know my answer is going to be 3.0 something, not quite 3.1. So between 3.0 and 3, sorry, between 3.0 and 3.1. Cut myself off there. Okay, so the next part is, that's part one. The next part is to figure out which of the lines lines up with the fixed scale, and they'll tell us 3.0 what. So this is 0, and it doesn't line up. This is 1, it doesn't line up. This is 2, doesn't line up. 3, doesn't line up. 4, doesn't line up. 5 is close, but not quite. 6, I would say that's probably the best one there. So in other words, I know it's 3.0 something. This something comes from right here, which is 3.06. So that would be 3.06 centimeters. And that's how that works. Okay, so I'm going to show you one other example here and then cover one last topic quickly, and then you're done. Okay, so here's another one. I'll let you take some time here. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, figure out a measurement, and I'm going to show you the answer in about 3 seconds. Alright, so looking here then, here's the 0 line right there, and it's just above 0.7. So this is 0.7 something. I don't know what the something is. To find the something out, I'm going to count the lines and see which of the lines on the bottom scale, which is the first one to match up with the lines on the fixed scale on top. So 0 doesn't, 1 doesn't, I don't know, 2 is close. I think, well, boy, it's either 2 or 3, isn't it? It's one of those. And if you picked one of them, you think you'd be pretty good to make an argument for either one. So let's say it's 2, 0.72 centimeters, and that would be your answer. Hopefully that's what you got. If not, well, too bad. Okay, we'll have some chance to practice that on Monday as well. So lastly, you have to cover one other topic, and those are reference. And a referent is just, this is not a major topic, but it comes up on the provincial, so I have to go over it with you. A referent is just something that you use to measure something else. So we all use standard reference like centimeters and meters. Those are all reference. They're just kind of arbitrary sizes that we say, okay, this is equal to a meter, and we measure things according to that. But you don't have to use those standard reference. You can use other things. So for example, if you knew that the height from the floor to a doorknob was 1 meter, or it was looked very close to 1 meter, okay, then you could use that height, knowing that that's a meter, to estimate the height of the door. So if you know that the doorknob height is 1 meter, what do you think the height of the door is going to be? And you might guess it's 2.2 meters or 2.1 or 2.3 meters, something like that, and that's fine. And you're measuring it not using meters, but measuring the height from the floor to the doorknob. You're not using a standard referent, but it's still valid. And you can do that as well if you look up on the ceiling tiles next to your time you're in the classroom to estimate the length of the class. Or you could sort of, for example, here with this house, it's a very cleverly drawn house. Don't feel bad if your art isn't as good as mine. I'm a professional artist. Anyways, if you wanted to try to estimate the height of a building or whatever, it's difficult to kind of picture it in meters how tall it is. But if you use a common example or a common reference, something that you're familiar with, it can be a little bit easier. So for example, this one here, you know for a door height here, it's taller than you, most likely. Um, and so that's probably going to be about 8 feet, or you can convert it to centimeters or meters if you wanted. But you could sort of go, okay, well, if a door, well, it's not 8 feet, maybe it's more like 7 feet, because 8 feet is how tall your ceilings are usually. So let's just say it's 7 feet. And so in your mind, you're kind of picturing how high or how many door heights kind of fit between there, the floor, and the peak of the roof there. And it looks like it's about 3, so you probably would guess around 20 feet tall for the height of the top of the house there. That's all referent is. It's not really a big deal. We'll talk about it more again on Monday, but there you go. There's your first 3 lessons. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.